try to do this quick because I don't have a lot of battery left. November 13th. This dream, there were 3. It's again with the 3s. It was 3 scenes. In the first scene, my brother and I were in the car, but then I also was in all of the scenes. I was in it, but then I wasn't. I was just observing, but at the same time I was in it. So in the first scene, my brother's driving the car. It's a classic car. My brother knows a lot about mechanica, like he mechanics. So there was this feeling of safety in him driving the car and being in the car as we're driving, and there's no need to really stop for help because he knows what to do. Like there's this knowing of what steps to take if something breaks down. Like there's just this knowing of how to handle those challenges, right? If they pop up. And we're driving down the road and there's trouble around, and there's trouble around, but we're not worried. There's no worry. It's just flowing, and there's no need to stop. We're just flowing. Second one, the second and the third one seemed more similar in that way. My brother he wasn't a part of it anymore. It's like the guidance was there, but he physically wasn't there anymore. And there was this like urgency of like, come on, what did I tell you? Right? This to try to get out of these situations. So the second one, we had to do a pit stop. Now there's more people in the car. So people I really don't know these people, but they're having to do a pit stop. Dang it, the battery's gonna die. And there's trouble. There's some trouble, but we, depending on the scene, are able to get away. And so we're able to get away. The third scene was a lot more trouble. Not just with the car where we had to do a pit stop, but even the people around us, like we were in the trouble. And then in the last 2 scenes, there's a birth of a baby. And the middle scene was less dramatic than the last scene. The last scene, it was so much more dramatic. There was so much more of the hiding of this baby that's being born and the trying to get away from the trouble. But the getting away, that's where it felt familiar. I was like, I just saw this from the previous scene. Only this time it seems harder to like get away. And there's more challenges, and it's just like, come on. There was this and I wasn't in it, but at the same time I was in between in all 3. I was in between. Even with my brother, like I could see him outside of the car, and then there was an element when I was inside the car, and the same thing for each of the other scenes. Like I was in it, but then I wasn't. But I remember that last one, I was just like, we've done this before. Like we know how to get out of here. Come on, we gotta hurry, and we have to bring this baby in with us and hurry, and the mother too. Like they were both exhausted from the birth, And it was it wasn't like that other birth that I saw. This was like more of a, almost like a hidden birth. And then the birth was from the top too. I saw that because I was trying to look. I'm like, it's a birth. But what's happening, it's the blood was coming from the top. Like there was like almost like it had to be a C-section, but it was from the top. And the mother was so exhausted, and we were trying to put them into the car to drive away so that they wouldn't be harmed. But the second time just seemed, there was less struggle. The first one with my brother, I want to say there was a baby also, but it was not. It wasn't like the other ones. So it almost feels like my brother was symbolic of the way, right? Like, I mean, there's 3 scenes, clearly. So I have to sit with it a little bit more and kind of break that down a little bit more. And the symbolism behind it. Oh, there's a lot of dreams lately. Goodness gracious. A lot of dreams. I'll keep trying to break them down. This theme of 3s. Hi, my name is Yubi, and in case you haven't figured it out, this footage is capturing my experience as I learn to navigate my personal spiritual awakening. I am learning that this experience is unique to each one of us. In whatever way we believe we are embracing living our truth, this just happens to be my journey. And despite me having a graduate degree and a license in clinical social work, this by no means is intended to replace any type of mental health advice. This is just me on a personal level, documenting my experience, shedding light on the truth that I am learning and discovering for myself, and really inviting you along for the ride. If by some magical chance you find this content to be helpful in any way, shape, or form, please click the like button, share the message, subscribe to my YouTube channel. I have an Instagram account, a personal one, and one specifically for this channel that you're more than welcome to check out. I'm an open book. I have also created t-shirt designs. I'm wearing my favorite one right now, which is the North Node design, but I have that and other things that you can look at inspired by this process and journey, and I have the link in the description box as well as in the about section of my YouTube channel. So you're more than welcome to check those items out. Any type of support is great. Again, if you find this content really helpful or meaningful, sometimes when we take that step and be vulnerable, with showing what's inside our hearts and what's really our truth, we realize that we're much more connected than what we thought we were. And so I hope that as I'm living this experience and that you find some type of truth for yourself, or find some type of ability to heal in some way just by relating, just by knowing that you're not alone. That really has been my goal with this process, not just being able to connect with others, but really for my own healing. It's definitely been a therapeutic experience and a very creative one for myself. So I thank you, and